Ja, bra för mig. Jag ska nyss ligga till honom. Ja, det är
Hey everybody, Roger here. I want to talk to you guys today about some little issue, well it's a big issue actually, that I just heard a statistic on. So, I think it was about maybe 2 years ago, there was a stat showing that one out of every, this is nationally, and I think if you guys know me, I don't really take stats all that seriously, but with the growing number of minority communities, Black and Hispanic communities, that are able to actually have funding go into this, it was kind of an important thing to talk about. Or the stat basically that I found is this. 2 years ago, 1 out of every 69 children was diagnosed with autism. This year, because again, there have been numerous technological advancement in bringing this into the poor communities, bringing testing into poor communities, bringing facilities into poor communities. The number's been updated to 1 in 59 1 in 59 children have autism. So, yes, it's been an epidemic for a while. I think it's been personally, I think it's been an epidemic ever since we've gotten to this processed food craze and immunization, overloading and immunization. So again, it's theoretical. A lot of people, I don't have kids, so a lot of people can debate that with me, and they'll probably most end up being on the more mainstream side of the argument, which I'm probably not, but I do look out for the safety of our youth. I care for them. So with that, I started looking. I wanted to see, okay, what are parents doing right now that helps their children? That gets them what they need, eat the foods that they need to eat and whatnot. Let me look up some videos for it. And so I did, and I kept running into. I kept running into a lot of videos where people were showing like their school lunches that they give for the whole week and stuff. One of the biggest things that I ended up seeing was a lot of people still give their children processed foods.
And it's basically what my kids eat in a day. Yeah, it's a little bit of a struggle having 3 kids with autism. So they get their breakfast essentials every morning. It's a ham sandwich on wheat bread with some strawberries and some snack mix. But yeah, that's about all they'll eat for lunch. Okay, so this is dinner. I just made spaghetti with meat sauce and broccoli. On top of all the food that she had today, she also had 18 ounces of formula.
Because I thought my child wasn't getting her vitamins, and I just felt she wasn't eating right, like all these starchy foods, no meat, no protein or whatever. She does eat oatmeal, so to get the protein in, I started buying the oatmeal with the protein in it. So I tried all these little sneaky ways to get her to eat properly. She also stopped drinking milk about 15 months. She refused to drink milk. So for the calcium, I use the Daniel Tiger yogurts, which do have a little too much sugar in it for me, but it's the only way she will get calcium. She won't drink milk. And even though she does eat a lot of starchy foods, she's not fat. She's heavy, but she's not fat. She's tall and she's not skinny, but she's not obese anyway. If I was in Georgia, what I would really do is take her to Golden Corral and try every damn food up in Golden Corral, even though it's not the best food, just to see what she liked. And then that's it. Because I had a friend who had a picky child when I was in Georgia, and she took her kid to Golden Corral, and she tried every food in that joint to see what the hell this kid would eat, because I'm just not going to cook up all this crap that she's not going to eat.
So first up for breakfast, he is having Weetabix. They're both having Weetabix today. He really likes Weetabix. It's one of his favourite breakfasts, so I'm happy to give it to him because obviously it's healthy, it's filling. And with that, he has milk, sometimes cow's milk, sometimes coconut milk, or a mixture of two, just depending on what we have. I'm making him a ham sandwich today, which he likes. He's kind of gone off cheese lately, so yeah, he's quite happy with some ham. And that bread that I'm using is the Kingsmill 50-50 bread. So it's like 50 white, 50 wholemeal. I made this kind of hidden veggie mac and cheese, some chicken sausages and peas. And I kind of know already that this is not going to go down very well.
Sugars, fake juices, yogurt, fruit roll-ups, and even one person, I'm pretty sure she loves her kid, I saw the intro, but even one person kept giving her child Pop-Tarts, the most non-food of all the foods. Well, that and Twinkies. But it kind of like, and these are probably the same people that, yes, they care about their kids, but they don't know that they're doing them more harm than good.
To show you what all I give my picky 4-year-old to eat. So let's get started. The first thing that I give him as a snack is these organic white cheddar puffs. And then I also give him these broccoli chips. He also likes to eat corn, go-go, squeezed fruit and veggies. He really likes these as well. They're 100% fruit and vegetables. Also, he really likes chicken noodle soup, and he really liked this can because it's got Spider-Man on it. Over here is his favorite bacon. He really doesn't like any other meat besides bacon, so I just got the lower sodium one. So I got this at Walmart. All this stuff came from Walmart, if anyone's wondering. The Cheerios, he really loves these. These are his favorite. He snacks on these for breakfast. He'll eat these as a snack as well. Also, I get the fruit and veggie, fruit and green pack for him. You guys know I like the Greek yogurt. I got these juicy juice splashers. These are just fruit juice and filtered water. So I thought that these were good. They're 50% less sugar versus the leading juice. So I thought that these would be better. We used to get the Capri Sun, but once I discovered these, I was like, oh, these are a lot better than the Capri Sun. So we're gonna stick with these for a while, and they're cheaper. Also, his favorite, I will give him these Pop-Tarts. So yeah, so these are his favorite.
Once you open your eyes, you'll see that you're wrong about each and every one of them. Wrong, 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 wrong.
But all these people, all they ever did was just keep giving them that. And pastas. I mean, like, starches. I mean, come on, people. Okay, so I know that everybody loves their own child. I understand that. And then when they're making the video showing this off, showing their foods off and stuff, okay, great. I see the intent is there, but the research isn't. So it's really, and this is even when you're an adult, it's realistically so easy to eat healthy. It really is. So first things first, get rid of processed foods. Just don't shop in the middle aisles at all if you can. I do for very few things. I get tonic water. I also get, sometimes I get these East Indian foods that I really, really like, and they come prepackaged and stuff. And so that will be my one vice when I know I'm in a hurry. And that's, I guess, not the best thing as well. I mean, I'm fearful of packaging. I'm not gonna say fearful. I am cautious of packaging, and I don't like anything like with aluminum, plastics, whatever. I'm cautious, let's put it that way. So I do that when I have to. And these days I've been very, very, very busy that I have to resort to that a lot of times. Stay away from the sodas. Stay away from the sodas for sure. Stay away from probably just right up there with sodas you're gonna want to stay away from. And this is another thing that the lady, or two ladies actually, gave their child were Capri Suns. I mean, come on, people, come on. I mean, I don't think our education system is bad now, but it wasn't back then for people who are parents now. Capri Sun, I mean, and you wonder why your child has gets aggravated, has the issues, yeah, get rid of that shit as well. Don't give your child dairy. Don't give your child yogurt. Don't. I mean, don't give them gluten. Don't give them breads. Don't give them, and then also our breads are all tainted these days now as well. What you got to start doing is this. And also the immunization thing. Well, somebody's late for work. The biggest thing here is this, is, we're all shopping for the quick fix. We all think our doctors and stuff have our best intent in mind, have their best intent in mind when it comes to our health and whatnot. And some do. Some look at it as a business, which is nothing wrong with that. But I mean, you have to be aware of these things. You have to open up that sixth sense that you have, and start seeing what works and what doesn't. I'm certain your child will always have issues if you feed them this crap, and you keep giving them all of these immunizations or vaccinations and all this shit that is just fucking with their bodies. And it's sad what's happening to the youth today. So don't shop at GROSSERY stores, and I do call them that. Shop at your local farmer's market. And if you're even more cautious like I am, do yourself a favor, look them up on the internet when you do go visit them. Go visit their farm if you can. I've done that once, and there's this one that I do shop at, very, very good one. But you got to do it. You have to ask all the questions. And then, like, even when you go to farmers markets, you have to be cautious. I have two stories here. One about coffee and one about buying from a vendor. So and again, I guess I'm bringing all this up because I'm just saying you got to be aware and you got to be cautious. A grocery store should be your probably tertiary resort, your third resort. A specialty health food store, something like a Natural Grocers or something like that, would be your second choice. Your first choice should always be a farmer's market. But when you go to the farmer's market, here's my we'll start with the coffee story. The coffee story is this. My partner and I were at a farmer's market about a year ago, and there was a lady who was trying to sell us coffee. We don't normally go into the booths where they're just selling, like the odd stuff. We just mainly go to the grocery section, the produce section, where farmers are actually giving or selling their produce. That's where we always go. But, sometimes on occasion we'll slip into the other ones just to see what they have. So one lady had coffee, and she's like, oh, it's organically grown, and I grow it myself, and yada, yada, yada. Well, partner decides to ask, okay, well, you don't use any pesticides or anything, right? She's like, I use a little Roundup, but that's it. I mean, we held our laugh in check at that point, but when we left, we're just like, oh my gosh. Some people, again, just like the parents, this farmer, this lady, this ag lady thought that using just a little Roundup was okay. No, it's not. Our soil is dead. Our soil is dead. Our foods are getting less nutritious. Our foods are getting, and also our soil is so dead that we have to use We have to use all these pesticides, all these chemicals, all these horrible things that we put in our foods just to make them bigger and somewhat taste normal. Again, it's kind of an epidemic that nobody's talking about, and so I'm bringing it up now. So anyways, that's the story number one. Some people just don't understand what 100% or farm-raised, organic, whatever is. And people will throw in things here and there, just like the FDA does. The Food and Drug Administration will constantly change what they deem as organic, and even at the state level, you have to look out for all these things. You have to be aware that there are lobbyists and whatnot that will go in and try to change the terminology of things under your nose. And so when you think you're going to get something organic like the Simple Life and all this shit, it's just a marketing ploy. I'm pretty sure most of you understand this, but judging by the videos that I've seen regarding parents and showing off the foods that they give to their kids with autism, I think it's still an epidemic, and I think it's only going to get worse. So the second story is this. I was at the farmer's market in Colorado one time. This was about 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago maybe. And I bought what looked to be very awesome produce, and yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. spent about $12 on something that normally would have been like $6 in a regular grocery store. And again, you're paying for the convenience of it coming from a farmer and using, live, very new, very good soil, and no pesticides or anything like that. So you're seeing all of these things, but at the same time, that's where you, and also to make sure that it's good for your system. We're already exposed to a lot of chemicals and whatnot in our day-to-day lives. I'm trying to limit the amount that goes into my system. Oh, and don't use plastics. Stop using plastics if you can. Glass or regular dishware or whatever, that's it. No plastics. Please stop using plastics. So anyways, at this farmer's market, I buy this $12 worth of food, and then I say, okay, well, hey, we got to go to Natural Grocers, which was about 2 blocks away, and we had to get some other stuff. So we went there, got some other stuff. As I'm checking out, the guy that I bought produce from is there buying produce. This guy wasn't a farmer. He basically upsold the stuff I could have bought over at Natural Grocers. Again, what I look at as far as like fruits and vegetables produce at Natural Grocers, I don't see it in the exact same light as I do farmers market foods. Farmers market foods I see as an individual farmer growing something without chemicals, without pesticides, without any sort of tainted product, and I expect that. There was deceit in this, basically. So this guy was making a profit. Granted, he went to Natural Grocers, which is probably, the second best thing, and there are probably some farmers there. Natural Grocers is still a business. I think what you guys need to realize is, like, when a business is trying to meet quota, they're going to do what they can to make sure that the people that they contract deliver product on a regular basis. Otherwise, they won't survive. So, I mean, what kind of deals do you think are made behind the scenes with these farmers? I just don't know. I've heard stories. I've seen some documentaries, but and I've read some news articles. But I mean, you got to think like this. You got to think like this. So that's the whole point of this whole thing. Is a lot of it is people are just not educated enough, and people think that they're doing the right thing. People, I've even had a commenter one time saying, "Oh, I've been drinking Coke all my life." Coke and Pepsi, the carbonated drink. Not the other Coke, and I'm still alive, and I'm like, well, good for you. I know somebody who drank Pepsi, like 3 to 5 Pepsis a day, had to have some gallstones removed, and then it also it's tumorous. It's tumorous. It can be cancerous. It's toxic to your body. I mean, it doesn't let the body naturally heal itself the way it's supposed to on a regular basis. So I mean, all these things come into play, and I was in the health field in a past life, but these days I'm more technologically tech is my career at this point, and so I some of the things I've lost as far as like understanding and knowledge, but a lot of it I've gained in regards to the things I've learned over the years in my personal life with trying to be as healthy as I age as possible, while being as organic, not in the government term, not in the FDA term, but actual organic in my life. So anyways, just some thoughts regarding autism. I mean, stop giving the kids dairy, stop giving them fruit drinks, stop giving them fruit roll-ups, stop giving them Pop-Tarts, stop giving them all this crap. Start going to a farmer's market, make your foods, take the time to make your food. Good things come to those who wait. That is so important here. When you want to have microwave food and then give that to your child with autism, my God, I wish I could just go over there and help you out. It's still the wrong way. That's a quick fix. It's a quick fix. All these quick fixes are adding up as generation and generation and generation is born into our in humanity. We're getting worse. We're getting less healthy. We're relying more on everyone else to tell us what's good and what's right, when it's so simple. Just go back to basics. Just go back to basics. If you don't have a farmer's market, root for one, or go find one that's outside of your community if you can. And if you don't have a farmer's market, go to the next best route, which again is Natural Grocers or something to that extent. And then again, the third option is you have to not rely on as much as possible is your grocery store. Don't ever get your foods at Walmart. Don't ever get your foods at Walmart. I did a test, I think it was Easter this year. I went to Colorado on Easter. I bought celery in Walmart, and I bought celery at a farmer's market. And I only took half and half of each because I usually take food with me to Colorado when I'm traveling. And I left them in their respective areas in my fridge. And I came back home. The farmer's market one celery was withered away to nothing. It was gross, whatever, you know, it was all brown and, you know, going through its natural cycle, what it should be going through. This is something that's organic. This, you know, or you can tell an organic food because it's not going to last that long. It's a quick moment that you have to utilize, and take advantage of the nutrients and the opportunities that it offers you at that moment. Well, what Walmart's was, it still looked like new. Walmart celery still looked like new, and I was gone for 5 or 6 days. And granted, people say, oh, celery can last up to 3 weeks. And again, modern day non-organic celery can last up to 3 weeks because of all of the, I don't know what you call them, you know, all the things that they put in it to make it look new, and maybe a coating. I don't know. I know in like cruise ships they use coatings on some of the foods, which is I find very disgusting, to make it look like new for, you know, for a while. But yeah, it goes to show, you know, your preservatives is what I was looking for. They put preservatives in all these things, and yeah, it's scary when you can come home and see that your celery still looks like new when it should be going through a natural cycle and actually start withering away and growing mold on it. That's natural. That's a natural cycle. We're not going through that in our bodies anymore. We're going through a lot more shit. So anyways, what are your guys' thoughts? You guys have any other health tips? Is there something maybe I've said wrong? I probably have. I mean, I'm not perfect, but I can definitely say for me being almost 41 now, I think I'm doing pretty good in my life as far as health is concerned, and how busy I am in my life and how stressful my life is. Yes, I do have a lot of issues. You know, I got my alopecia because I've been living a vegan lifestyle for about 4.5, 5 years. I'm transitioning now back to including meat every now and again. It's very hard, just, you know, again, morally speaking. And I also, you know, have a very stressful life. So, I mean, it kind of added up to, you know, me losing my hair. I'm pretty sure you guys have noticed, you know, unevenly on both sides. So anyways, I'm not perfect, but I do preach a lot of good things, I believe. And I have been preached a lot of good things. You know, my partner has been one of the ones that has been very, has me thinking this way, has me living this way. And if it wasn't for him, I don't know what kind of person I would be. I would still be a health nut, but I'd probably be eating a lot of processed foods and not giving it a rat's ass. So anyways, I hope this has helped you out. If you have a child with autism, what do you do to help that child? I hope it's not any of those things that I mentioned. You know, maybe, you know, put in the comments down here what you do to help other people out, because the kids, again, are the reason, not to preach Whitney Houston, but they are the reason why we talk like this and why we have to try to make sure we have all the information out there that is beneficial for them, not ego. Okay, peace out.
The only way you'll ever be right is to repeat everything I say, word for word, to every single person you know. Until then, you're wrong.